So sorry again. We are starting right away. The reason for the initiative is simple. Aside from the technical knowledge that definitely going to get to use AI, I believe we need to have a deeper understanding of where the AI is coming from, what is going on with AI, what exactly is about AI, and where AI is actually taking us to. My interest stemmed for the fact that when they brought some of this technology to us, they just gave it to us and we just suddenly became consumers. And I felt this has affected us in so many ways, particularly has affected our children because we, the adults, we got it, we transfer it to the children by virtue of device, by virtue of the exposure into internet, and we were not able to guide them properly. And AI has come. AI is another technology that we got from the West. We can't begin to say that we have developed it alongside with the way that the West have developed AI. So now that AI has come, they again drop it on our laps and we've again started consuming it. And I feel that at this point in time, particularly this is a technology that even the people that developed it, they are doing a lot of work to stem the negative consequences of it in their own life. They are working seriously behind the scene to prevent the downside of AI into their future. And I look back and I felt, what are we doing? Are we doing anything at all? I'm not sure. I tried to scan through the government program activities and all that. Honestly, permit me to say that I'm not very impressed by virtue of comparing what I see going on here to what is going on in our client. And I'm very passionate about the next generation and about education. And I feel this is a good opportunity, aside from bringing the Indian guys to come and teach us the technology side of AI so that we can play around with the tools and know the applications. We also need to know the implications of the tools that we are using. We also need to have understanding beyond just applying the tool in our daily teaching activities, but to understand the implications to the extent that where is it taking us to. So this February edition has this agenda. As you can see, I have AI and the next generation. AI in school. And I said that is power, right? And feedback. And of course, we're going to talk about the 2025 in view for our community. So now let's talk about AI and the next generation. And please, this is just me hosting us, right? I want it to be very interactive because I believe that each and every one of us here also will have one or two ideas. Don't mind whatever you're going to share. We are all here to learn, right? I don't know so many things. I only know very few. I'm just bringing up this initiative because of the few ideas and the few exposures that I think I have and the concern that is personal, particularly to the education sector. So please, I want us to also share alongside whatever we think we know, whatever we have had, so that we can all together bring this to a logical, productive conclusion. Don't let us underestimate what we are doing here. It might get someday to the people at the top, right? Every one of us have one or two network here and there. So please, let's make it very interactive. So the first topic that I want us to talk about is AI and the next generation, right? And I said tomorrow. So when we talk about tomorrow, tomorrow is just about 10 to 20 years, right? Tomorrow, 10 to 20 years is just right at the corner. So we shouldn't think that tomorrow is Sunday only. Tomorrow is just about 10 to 20 years. And before you know it, some of the students in our classes, in another 10 to 20 years, they're out there. Either they are coming to our school as alumni or alumnus, or they are doing one or two activities out there to make us proud. So when you see them every day, those are your tomorrow, right? I want us to always be conscious of that. I know that we're conscious of that. But again, I want to reiterate it to us that whenever we get to our classes and we're looking at this next generation, these are our tomorrow. And when we say tomorrow about them, 10 to 20 years. So they are the next generation that we're talking about, right? So, and one of the concerns I have is AI is coming to the world, and it's like in the next 10 years. The serious concern that the people in the West have is that in the next 10 years, there will be no work. There will be no job for anybody to do. Is it that there will be no world? Of course, there will be world. There will be life. So what is going to happen in the next 10 years that they are so concerned about? They are so concerned that who will be doing what? What will anybody be doing? And they are doing so much to make sure that at that time, even if there is no work for human being to do, because they are believing that machine will have taken over almost all jobs. Almost all jobs. What will their people be doing? So let's bring it back to our own Nigeria. And let's bring it back to Africa. If the people in the West are working so hard to make sure that in the next 10 years, when machine will practically take over all forms of work, what are we going to be doing? Some of the students in our classes, we are training them, we are teaching them today. They are hoping to be here. They are hoping to be in US, in UK, in India, in China. What are we training them to do? So that is why I bring up this topic, AI and the next generation, right? The second point on the topic is, what will be the nature of work tomorrow? What will be the nature of work tomorrow? What will life be like tomorrow? Today's teachers and their task. So before we go further, or before I go further on this, can someone also share with me what your perspective is about AI and the next generation? Let's make it interactive, please. And we want to spend just 1 hour. Hello, can we mute ourselves so that others can hear properly and not be distracted? Thank you.
Monday to Saturday. Busy. To the weekend, you want to hear one.
Can you mute Dave? Can you mute yourself, please? I think the noise is coming from the side. Thank you. Yes. I need somebody also to share his or her own perspective on AI and the next generation. Just share whatever you think you have as idea. We know about AI, we know about ChatGPT, we are using it today, right? We are using some other tool, we are using Suno, we are using so many tools. And we refer to these tools as AI. So can we connect these tools that we are using today? Can we connect our understanding of AI to the next generation? Why should we be talking about the next generation? Okay, I think I'll have to call Ms. Rose Nwosu. Hello, Ms. Nwosu, can you share your perspective about AI and the next generation?
I can't see, I can't. Are you hearing me?
Yes, I can hear you, ma'am.
All right. I think AI in the next generation, as you have said that other nations, foreign from where we are getting this AI from, has been planning towards their tomorrow, which is 10 to 20 years time. I think in next generation here in our Nigeria, we too have to start planning, as we have all agreed that they have said that by 10 years to come, machine will take over all the work human will do. So I think we should continue, start our own planning to make sure that this will be an effective move for us here in Nigeria also.
Okay, thank you very much. And of course, part of the planning, I believe, is having this kind of conversation. I don't
Someone
know
is
how
raising
many.
her hand up. Franca is raising her hand up.
Okay, so Franca, can we hear your own perspective of AI and the next generation?
Thank you very much, sir. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon to you, ma'am. You're welcome.
As much as I really appreciate the AI, it has made work so easy, it has made life so easy, especially for me as a teacher, it makes my work easy as a teacher. But my fear and my concern about next generation is that it's like the AI thing is making them to feel lazy and they are not creative like it used to be in the past. I remember when I was growing up, if we're given creative writing, we will sit down, we will think creatively and put something sensible down. But nowadays, if you give the children even homework on composition, when they get home, they will go to chat GPT. And it's so, it is so disheartening that they don't want to read it. Even the simple homework, they will get home and go and be searching chat GPT. Sometimes when I'm marking my work at school, even what is inside there, I know that they ought to just read and bring back to the answer. You will still see them you will know that this one, they have gone to Google to search for the answer. So as much as I love the AI, I don't know how this our generation can be helped in such a way that it will help them to be better people and not to be lazy in thinking. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much, Franca. You touch the pain points, really. You really touch it. And again, this is the reason why I actually put up this initiative. It's a very big concern that you just expressed. And I'm sure virtually everyone on this platform relates with you very, very well. It's a big concern. It's so big concern. It's a big concern also to the people in the West. And that is why they are not sleeping. They are really not sleeping. They've started something that they cannot stop. They started something that they cannot control. The negative, the downside of it, they are seeing it. They are warning themselves, and they are doing a whole lot to make sure that they stem the negative consequence. But we are not doing as much as that. So part of the steps that I believe we need to take is to continue to have different kind of conversations that will move from ordinary table like our table, will move someday to the point of the policymakers looking at it. I look through the entire globe and I'm like, which continent is doing so much about the AI and the next generation? Which continent is not doing so much? Let me not say we are not doing anything. It's not doing so much significantly. And it's a pity for me to conclude that Africa is not doing as much as what we are supposed to do. So again, let's continue to embrace this conversation. Let's continue to share ideas. We should not underestimate what we are doing. I believe strongly that sometime, someday, it will get to the point of the decision makers and policy makers and begin to take the right step. And that time is not going to be very far because we don't have time. The fact is that there is no time. So again, Franca, we have to think deep about what are we going to help this next generation. The truth is that AI and its application is not just making our own children to be lazy. The concept of the artificial intelligence basically is to make humanity completely, in my word, useless. to make humanity completely useless. And that is why in the next 10 years, by 2040, let me say by 2040, it is estimated that the number of humanoid robots, that is the robot that we see here and there, different kind, the one that looks like human being, the one like look like dog, the one like look like, of course, currently right now, there are a lot of self-driving cars around. They are equally robots. So drivers' job here is becoming like, we don't need drivers again. We don't even need human being to drive anybody around in the next couple of years. So in another 10 to 15, 20 years, it is estimated that the number of robots will be more than the number of human beings on the planet Earth. Because it's estimated that every human being will have minimum of one robot that you are using to do one or two things for you, right? So AI itself is a phase. Now we are getting to another phase that is called agentic. Agentic phase is even going to be deeper in terms of making a lot of people becoming very lazy. Let me not say very lazy, right? So, but we know that we are not ready for this. The truth is that Africa is not ready for this. Nigeria is not ready for this. And what are we doing to take care of what we are not ready for? Otherwise, the children that we are teaching today, the children that we are training today, the students that we have right in our classes today, like you said, when we were in school, we know how much of study that we do, we know how much of research that we do, even though most of them are more or less like not relevant even to the modern days. Right now, we have curriculum that I'm not sure is connected to the next 10, 4, 5 years. Right? So how are we going to help the next generation? And that's why we talk about what will the nature of work be tomorrow. So the nature of work tomorrow as it is being planned is simple. The nature of work tomorrow is work that will be executed by artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence is the brain, and they are now embodying the brain by it's like breathing life into a box, breathing life into a humanoid robot and asking the robot to go and execute the job. So our concern is, how are we going to help these children not to become useless if AI is making them to be lazy today? How are we going to help them? Can somebody share an idea with us how you think we can help them? Franca has brought up a very serious concern that all of us that should wake all of us up in the middle of the night. These are our students. You give them assignment and you cannot stop them. You cannot prevent them from having access to ChatGPT. Right now, China has released another AI tool. If you know about it, it's called DeepSeek. So day in, day out, they are deploying different kind of tools that you don't even know as much as these children know about the tools. So we cannot stop them from using these tools. We cannot stop their access to these tools. So how are we going to help them in order for them not to become lazy and from being lazy to become useless? Can we have an idea?
Can we all mute our mics, please? Sholanke Olushola, Adedeji Folashade, Mrs. Okunade Dorcas. Please, can you mute? Thank you.
Hello, I would like to say.
Kindness. Okay, Chidima.
Hello.
Yeah, go ahead, Chidima.
Can hear you.
Okay, I would like to say that looking at how
Chidima, we can't hear you again.
Chidima, you're muted. Please, can you unmute? We can't hear you at all.
Hello, Chidima, you are muted. Can you unmute yourself?
Oh. Hello.
Yes, you are back. We can hear you now.
Okay. I said I'm thinking in line with entrepreneurship. Since the AI will be doing all the brain job, can we look at giving the children something they can do with their hands? Like if somebody is a cobbler, eventually you have to build the shoe, whatever, with your hands. Meanwhile, applying AI, maybe to get designs or looking for a way to make your job easier. Hello?
Yes, we are on.
Yeah.
We can get you.
I can't even hear myself. I'm talking about entrepreneurship. That's the area I'm looking at in the future. Thank you.
Thank you, Chidima. Do you have idea from someone before I make my own input? Someone is also trying to share his own opinion. Okay, so Chidima, you talked about entrepreneurship, which is very important. As a matter of fact, this is Akambi Olabisi, you need to mute yourself.
Hello. Good afternoon, everybody.
Yeah, good afternoon. Go ahead.
I think a way to help the students in order for them not to become academically useless is for teachers to make sure that in the classroom there's a lot of activity. What do I mean by a lot of activities is that instead of giving them a homework, you should give them a roundtable project where the students will have to do one or two things on their own while they are in the class. Because we can't stop them from not using all these AI applications. Every day, new ones are coming up, and these children are exposed to it. So in my own idea, teachers should make sure that the class activities is very, very important. And giving them projects that you will supervise and make sure that they do some mental work will be very good. I think that's my own advice to teachers in order for us to make sure that these children are participating very well and in critical thinking. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your contribution. Both contribution actually hits the nail on the head. Talking about entrepreneurship, talking about engaging these children beyond just teaching them, bringing them into collaborative activities right in the class. So you can, if you put these two ideas together, right? These are the solutions that the West are trying to bring up, right? And this is why I, again, believe that this conversation is very, very important. Almost everywhere, particularly within the education sector. I wish there are so many of these conversations. Let people just come in a round table and share thoughts and share opinion. It's not just enough for us to learn to use the tools. So you can see that it is important for us to equally keep talking. So when you talk about entrepreneurship and when you talk about bringing our children, our students into an activity kind of beyond just disseminating curriculum to them like we've been doing for ages. So you can agree with me that the nature of education should actually change in line with the potential nature of work. Again, the nature of education should change in line with the potential nature of work. So we cannot afford to just continue to teach the way we've been teaching for years and expect the results that we desire in our heart. The result is that we want these children to become successful. So how would the students in the classroom today become successful in a future that they are not being prepared for. That is the challenge for the teachers. That is the challenge for the educators. That is the challenge for our government. Bringing up policies that would align the current AI information to the future of AI in our world. So one of the things that the West is doing is that they know that in the next generation, you have to be an entrepreneur before you can actually become successful. Not necessarily that everybody will own business, but you must have idea. You must have something beyond just, I'm ready, I'm qualified, I have this certificate, I have this degree. Because you can have degree and you don't have work to do. So apart from the fact that we are educating our students with the normal form of education, the teachers also need to understand these two things that have been shared with us today. We need to understand that the next level of thinking, even though we ourselves, we may not be entrepreneur, but now that we know that we have a challenge, to begin to sensitize the students about the need and the importance of being an entrepreneur, because that is the solution to AI. As a matter of fact, in the next 10, 20 years, significant number of people that will continue to enjoy this humanity are the people that are setting up businesses. Because you really don't need so many people to work for you in the next 10 years. All you need is to understand how to use the AI agentic, put them into work, and they're going to deliver almost practically everything for you. There are so many jobs that right now are being taken away by AI, even right now as I speak with you. And these jobs they have a lot of people that are qualified to do the job. The big tech in the US, they're actually sending away some of their workers. Now they have to start coming back to looking for, okay, what can I do? Apart from the fact that I have this skill. So we, at this level, we need to have the reorientation. The orientation has to start from the teachers. And I'm happy that teachers here are sharing these thoughts. So when we get back to our various classes, let us begin to imagine now, what are we going to do? Because we have talked about our tasks, we have reminded ourselves our responsibility. I'm happy to hear your feedback and I'm happy to hear your contribution. It tells me that, yes, this conversation is not just going without meaning. Now, AI in school. When internet was brought to us, internet was not brought to, we really did not take internet like it has a significance in the school system. When social media was brought to us, it was just like throw into the sky of Africa. We grab it, we are used to taking, we are used to consuming, and that is why we are where we are. I pity the Africans that are looking forward to travel to US, to travel to UK in another 10, 20 years. If they are not prepared for what they are coming to US to see, I can bet us they will be so surprised, because many people will be here in another 10 years. They are aspiring to travel in the next 10 years, 10, 15, 20 years, by the time they are done with Nigeria University, and they'll be so surprised that there won't be anything for them to do. Not because they are aware, but because they are not aware. And who are they? Who are the people that are supposed to give them this understanding? Start from the teachers, start from the school. How much are we sharing of the knowledge, the implications? Again, I talk about AI tools. We emphasize so much on AI tools, AI application. Now I'm saying, what about the AI implications? So at school, I said AI in school, power. What do I mean by power? That is the power, the difference between this dispensation and the previous dispensation of internet and all the innovations and inventions that we got in Africa, is that we are getting this, we're relating AI to a lot of educational activities. And I don't just want us to let it pass like others have passed. And we are just complaining. These children are using ChatGPT. Before now, about a year ago when I was in Nigeria, I was talking to some school people, and they're like, they don't want the children to be exposed to AI. They don't want them to use ChatGPT. I was just smiling. And I'm like, how could you think that you can ever stop these people, these children? we have a technology that we build for school community. And part of that technology is to actually build a network among so many schools, network between students and alumni of school for mentoring program. And I was surprised when one of the school owners said they don't want their children to mix up with alumni. They don't want their students to mix up with students in other schools. And the next question I ask is that, how did you stop them from connecting on social media, on Facebook? We are building the technology that will enable you to control them. And you are telling us that, no, you don't want your student to connect with students in other schools. You don't want your student to connect with alumni that will actually giving them mentoring activity. And I'm like, sometimes I feel very pain when educators respond in a manner that I'm like, wow, what exactly are you saying? We are supposed to be building our own social media platform, right? That's my belief. I scan through Africa, we don't have any. And when somebody or some people are trying to build something that can actually give you opportunity to control the exposure of your students, you are not comparing that to Facebook. You are comparing that, you are criticizing what you cannot query on Facebook. So it gives a kind of pity that what exactly do we understand about the power that we have as a school? So for me, school have power to control this narrative about AI. And that's why we have to be having this kind of conversation. What are the powers that we have in school? Say the power of the school. Part of the power is the understanding that we are sharing today. Now, even if the government has not changed the curriculum, because we know that the government really don't care as much as we expect the government to care, can we afford to wait for the government before we change the narrative, before we change the dynamics of what we disseminate to these children? Can we afford to wait for the government before we actually say we have a power? Can we afford to wait for the government before we begin to design our own curriculum that will help these children, not just to make them lazy, but also not to make them useless? We talked about entrepreneurship. How do we begin to bring entrepreneurship into even the way we relate to the students in our classes? How do we bring about the idea that we want them to collaborate, right? On activities. If these are not in our curriculum, now we know that we have the power to take steps. I want to encourage us. This is what I refer to as AI in school today, is power. We shouldn't look at what the ChatGPT is doing in terms of helping them to solve assignments, because we cannot stop it. If you don't allow students to use phone in school, can you stop them from using phone at home? No. There are really so many things that in my own opinion, are wrong with our education system. But we have a responsibility. We don't have to wait for the government, because trust me, the government, they don't have the time. But we have the mandate to make sure that we do the right thing, to prepare our children for tomorrow. So the power in the teachers, the power of the teachers, the power of AI in school rests on the school itself and rests on the teachers. So can we share how teachers can use the power with the knowledge that we have about AI, with the information that we have right now, even the little information that we have right now? Can somebody share what do you think the teachers can do with us so that we can learn from others? Do you believe that the teachers have power today by virtue of having the understanding and knowledge of AI? And how do you think we can use that power? I'd like to hear from us. Olatunji Ayodeji, can you share your view?
I'm just coming in. I'm just joining the meeting, so I'm not really get the
Okay.
question.
Okay, so good that you are coming. We are talking about AI in school, and we believe that AI in school today is power, right? We have power to do what we need to do. And we said AI in school gives the school power to control the narrative of the implications of AI, negative implications of AI in our life. And the teachers also have power to control the narrative of AI implication in our life. So what do you think teachers can do? Hello, can someone also share what do you think teachers can do to exercise this
Hello,
power?
sorry, I just coming in.
Okay, so
From
you are late.
my own understanding, Udochukwu. From my own understanding, I think as you have seen this, it is our duty and our responsibility to do more, to know more about AI, in order to keep on top of the technology. The technology also progress, so that will not be left out of to the world.
We really did not hear your contribution clearly. If you can say that again, that would be nice. I think your network is not very sharp.
What I'm saying, in essence, is the continuity in practicing there's more, with tools. It helps to be abreast or be on top of the technology, to not forced to be left out. We should not be left out of the technology. That even as the technology, we also will know what to do at the right time, even as the year comes, even as the year goes by, 20 years time.
Okay, yes.
Know
very well. Your contribution is very important. Very, 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 very well taken.
We should keep trying to know more about the tools, how to employ it, how it can be of use to us. We should not leave the knowledge from where we have gathered it. That we should not just stand there. We should aspire to know more.
Thank you very much. Your name here is TechnoSpark. I know that's not your real name. Thank you very much for your contribution. Can we have other ideas about what we think should be the teachers, the power of the teachers in controlling this narrative? Okay, so she just shared with us that teachers should continue to embrace the knowledge, which I agree to very well. Teachers should embrace. I want to encourage teachers. Teachers should be ready to, permit me to use the word, to do more than I know, more than I've been doing it, more than I've been in this trade for years, more than I can teach. Teachers themselves right now should consider themselves as students of AI. The more we know, the more we get empowered, the more we have the power to deal with the narrative. And the more we're able to control the growth of the knowledge of our students. So teachers should not just lay back and say, yes, whatever is going on in AI world, teachers, I want to encourage teachers also to get involved. I was asking don't be surprised that not everybody in the US, for instance, even students know so much about AI. I met a young lady yesterday and I was asking her, do you follow the trend of AI? He said, AI? I said, artificial intelligence. He said, not really, not really. I said, do you know about ChatGPT? He said, no, 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 no. I said, wow. I'm like, even in the US, you'll be surprised that not many people know about AI the way they're supposed to know about it. And that's why, don't let us go to that point. You'll be surprised that a lot of people currently living in the US, let me say, just suffering. And if you don't know about this technology right now, I don't know what you want to do in another 3 years. 5 years is far, right? And you are in this place because the level of development is so high. So teachers, please, I want to encourage you. Now you have a responsibility to go back to AI school. Now you have a responsibility to embrace knowledge of AI. Now you have a responsibility to read about what is going on in the AI world. First of all, the power of the teacher has to come from how teachers themselves, right, assume the responsibility to know. If we don't have, like it's been said, you cannot give what you don't have. We cannot give the information that we don't have. And we cannot guide the narrative of what we don't have an idea of. So first of all, the first thing I believe teachers need to do in order to use the power that they have. Right now, AI is in school. So practically everyone is talking about AI in school. So that gives the school the power. I'm happy for a school like our Mother Mary that decided to train all their teachers on AI tools and applications. And I want to believe that apart from the tools and applications, now they understand that there are uncountable number of tools doing different things, different tasks, playing different roles. Now they need to understand beyond the tools, the implications of the AI itself. So teachers, I'm encouraging you, you need to get to the point of understanding the implications. You need to plug yourself into the AI world. There are so many information that are going on here and there. Spend your time listening and reading about AI, right? Podcasts. There are a lot of free materials everywhere, right? That's one good thing about the Oyinbos. They do their things like we are giving you for free. And we should begin to stop the narrative that says if you want to hide something from the black, they said if you want to hide something from the black, they said put it in a book. Now, book is not even enough to put it. They said put it on productive social media platform like YouTube, put it in a podcast. We call for this meeting. We have a platform. We have about over 100 teachers. How many number of teachers attend this roundtable talk? So it's not only book that we don't read, right? We also don't listen to productive conversation. We don't make ourselves present in productive conversation. Now I want to encourage teachers. Let us challenge ourselves. That is the first power that we have. We want to first of all take that power. Read a lot about AI. I read a lot about AI. I listen to a lot of AI podcast conversation. And every time I listen to it, it's almost like re-emphasizing the point and making the pain point become stronger. And I'm happy to do that because it gets me on my foot. It wakes me up at night and it keeps me connecting to different network of relevant people in Nigeria. As I'm talking to you, I'm actually putting some PhD professors in computer science in some of our universities together to have a conversation with them. And you'll be surprised to know that some of them are not as deep as what I think I know about AI. Not that they don't know, but what about the consequences and the implications of AI in our climate, in the next generation of Africa? So I'm making a kind of reawakening to the system. And what we are doing here, by the time we are done, we're going to send it to some of them, and I'm sure they're going to listen to some of your points, some of your contributions. And this is the step that you and I have to take to gradually take this knowledge, take this information, take these pain points to the policymakers. And I hope that someday, some of the little ideas that we share in this roundtable talk will actually make meaning and will actually transform the system. because the educational system entirely has to be transformed before we can compete with the future in 10, 20 years' time. So thank you very much for your contribution. Teachers, we need to know more, right? And the next thing I want to say is that the power of the teacher. Teachers will have influence, right? No matter what, we still have influence in what our students do. So when we get the knowledge, we now use the knowledge as a power to influence them in the direction that we want them to equally begin to imagine. So apart from knowing it as teachers, we also need to begin to tell them the future of AI. We need to begin to tell them the consequences of using ChatGPT without developing their intellect. So we're giving them a lot of ideas. And the interesting thing about AI, I started using AI to do a research 2 days back. And I'll tell you the research points. The research point is that, and I'm using AI, is like, so I realized that we can also use AI against itself to develop ourselves. Again, we can use AI against itself to develop ourselves. So I'm using AI to do a research. The research is about why should Africa have 4% of the world GDP? Africa has 4% of the world GDP. US, China has, Asia has about 38%, US 20-something percent, Europe, Africa has 4%. And I'm using AI to do the research to find out what are the reasons why Africa have this 4%. Very, very small percentage of the entire global GDP. And you'll be surprised with the result that AI was telling. AI was telling me everything, the reason why Africa, and one of the reasons is that we are not information seeking country or continent. So because we don't know, hello, can you mute yourself, please? Because you don't have the right information, right? Our school system is backward in terms of what is going on in the world. Because we don't have the right information, the students that we are putting, that are graduating out of our school are not as well informed as what they are supposed to. For instance, entrepreneurship. How many of our students have opportunity to have holiday job? Apart from just doing holiday job to get some money, how many of them have the opportunity to know what goes on outside of the classroom? How many of our students have opportunity of having quality mentoring program as they pass through secondary school, for instance? How many of our students that graduate to the university actually have the right subject at WAEC level to get to their aspire career from the university? So AI was telling me a whole lot about why Africa has a very low GDP. And if you don't go to that point to understand, you won't know. You just, every day we sleep, we wake up and it's like, okay, we are just like every other human being. No, we are not like every other human being. So teachers have the power to transform ourselves from an ordinary person that we have been for years to extraordinary person before we can now use the power to influence our students in the direction that we want them to begin to imagine their future. It is their future. But if you don't tell them that this is what is awaiting them in the future, they are not going to know. And with due respect to our parents are so engrossed with their economic activities. And they have practically abandoned the life of the children in our hands. So you can see that teachers have a whole lot of responsibilities. And I believe that we have captured that point. Is there any contribution that someone wants to share before we'll be running up in about 5 minutes? And I'll just move to the next slide. Any contribution? Is there any query to what I've said? Is there any addition to it? Hello. Those that just joined us, I believe you have an idea of what we're talking about and you can make your contribution also.
Good evening, sir.
Yes, Kechi Faith, go ahead.
Good evening. Okay, so in addition to what you said, I want to share an experience I had in school. last year. That's in the university. Okay, of one of my lecturers. I did his course. So that was 2 years ago. I did his course, and then I didn't do well. And then the following year I did well. So I was bold to meet him, and I asked him. I said, "Sir, why?" I believe that the previous year's performance is better. The input I made was actually better than the other one. And then he made a point to me. He said, because that previous year, he discovered that my assignments were from the internet. But the other one were not, he didn't see any internet. It was just a critical thinking. And that was why the one that I used my head was actually better than the other one. So I actually discovered something. I discovered that another power we have in us is we need to create rules. Like we need to set rules for our pupils. That is, when we give them assignment, let them use their own word. Fine, I am giving you an assignment, and I tell you that, oh, you can actually get this from AI, but I want you to use your own words to do this thing for me. So when they see that you set the rules, and then you give them feedback, probably you evaluate it, and then you show them that, oh, this person used and this person didn't, they will sit up and then, of course, have that, and they will be encouraged to use their critical thinking. So that is just my own addition. And they let them know the effect too as well. So that's my own contribution, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Chief Faith. That's a very powerful contribution also. Critical thinking is part of what power the teachers can use to get the students or the pupil to do the right thing. Thank you very much. Any other contribution? And that you just landed that at the slide feedback use cases. So you just gave us a very interesting and important use case to think about. Thank you. Any other use case to share? Any other experience from any teachers? Again, we are all here learning, and please don't let us underestimate what we are doing here. What we are doing here will go places, and the ideas that we are sharing, trust me, we are sharing it to salvage Africa, to salvage humanity in our own climate. Thank you. Any other idea, any other experience from any other teacher?
I was telling Baba that I need to see on the other side of the world.
Gbemisola, are you sharing your idea? Okay, so I believe we have had an interesting session again this month, and I believe we have one or two points that we have taken out of this conversation, out of this roundtable talk today. And I believe we will get back to our classes, we'll get back to our schools, and we'll get back to our students better than before. And we have something that we are taking out of this conversation, this roundtable talk, to make the journey smoother and to begin to take care of our pain points and to give us a kind of rest of mind that truly we are moving consciously into the future. We are moving consciously into the next generation, and we are moving them through the right pathway to become what we desire them to become. That is my takeout from this conversation today. I want to encourage us, please stay around this community. This is a community that is bringing the technology to you and is also bringing information to you. I want to encourage us, let's look forward to the next edition, which is going to come up in March, first Saturday of March, the same time. We're going to be doing it first Saturday of every month. So please, let's look forward to it. And well, for some of us that attend this program, this session, I want to have your phone number. If you can share your phone number so that I can actually connect you on the forum directly, right? I want to continue to have direct conversation with some of us outside of the platform, outside of the roundtable talk. I believe I would like to share more experiences with you. I'd like to share your own experience also And I would like us to continue to expand on this talk outside of just having a 1 hour session, because this is our responsibility to bring back our continent, right, into the place that it's supposed to be in the globe. We are far ahead. We are far behind. We are far behind. And I believe some people will have to start the journey. And we are part of people that are taking the bold step to bringing Africa to the forefront. And this time around that we have the AI era is another golden opportunity for us to begin to redesign our life. And we are starting from the school. That is what we are doing. Thank you very much. We have programs that we are going to share with you on the forum. Please just stay tuned. Watch out for a lot of programs that is going to be coming up. Our workshop will continue this month. I'll find out from the Indian partners when they'll be free. They've been very busy. They've been dealing with a lot of people are spending their time resource significantly on this AI. Trust me. And I'm so happy that Nigeria is not behind, right? The Indian guys are so busy training people in India and training people in the US. And thank God that we have an arrangement with them, a collaboration with them to bring this to Nigeria. So I'm so happy that they are creating time for us. So they are going to continue the workshop this month. We're going to inform you of the next free workshop. And for as many as possible that we want to train their teachers beyond the 2 hours workshop, we just completed the training. It's a 5-day training for a school, Mother Mary School in Lagos. And I'm sure the school is going to get better for it. We are bringing beyond just the training. Very soon, someone talk about entrepreneurship. We are bringing about 4 months course program that will actually train teachers how to develop their own tools so that they are not just going to use other tools that have been given to us. We can actually develop our own tool for our own life, for the students, for our own future. So that will be the next phase of what we are bringing to you. Please stay tuned in this community. It's a community that is going to continue to be progressively adding value to our career. Thank you very much. Do I have a contribution before we wrap up the session today? Any contribution from anyone as a conclusion?
So you can share your WhatsApp, your contact on the WhatsApp group platform as well. You can pick it up from there. Yeah.
Oh, my own contacts?
No, their contacts. They're asking where they can share it.
Oh, okay. So you can share it. You can share it here. We're going to pick it from here. Just share your contact. I'd like to have everyone's contact so that I can go and I can have your name directly on the forum. And I will ascribe the name to this roundtable talk. Thank you very much.
Hello.
Thank you, everybody. Yeah, hello.
Please, I wanted to ask a question pertaining this AI on nursery section. I already know how can you make use of it on nursery children.
What's the question, ma? Hello.
Hello?
We are not getting your. Can you repeat the question, ma?
I said, sir, I wanted to know how we can nursery section in terms of assignment and information they need to know.
Oh, the nursery. Okay, so what I can say to nursery is this. Nursery pupil are the best you can do with AI with them is to just apply a lot of creativity to make them let me say to make them happy, right?
Okay.
When we get to the next workshop, I'll talk to the Indian guys. They will let us, they will give an idea of some of the tools that we can use at that level. But for
Okay,
nursery
sir.
school level, it's all about fun precisely, right? Just encourage them to just enjoy the music, the creativity of AI, get some visual, interesting impact of AI. You are building them to a level before they can actually begin to do critical thinking and reasoning.
Yeah.
Okay?
Okay, sir.
What's your school, ma? Oh, Mother Mary. Mother Mary, you're already in India now. You have the Indian guy's contact. So I don't need to do anything on your behalf. You can do it by yourself, right?
Okay, sir. Yes, sir.
And
I want
Onyeka,
I want to add to it,
go ahead.
to what you said. So we from other middle schools we're able to use some tools. So yes, when I was speaking out there, I was speaking like we used samples of higher grade students. But for the lower grades, you can create enough pictures, you understand, for all what you are using as instructional materials. You can create songs, you understand, for them.
Okay.
You can do videos, you understand, like merge all those items together and display. So what for toddlers, they can't really operate using the command prompt to do what they need to do. But the pictures and everything that you are showing them, you understand, it's you that are creating. So you have a responsibility to actually develop yourself in creativity. You understand? Now I mentioned that you have to be creative with what you want to deliver to your nursery students. You have to really come down to their level, know what they want and what will stimulate their senses. You understand? So, and once you can come up with that, what they call it, with that, develop something that was made, you can always interpret it, send it to the AI tool that you're using, either the text or the image or the songs, you understand? So those are the things that will now interpret and now produce things that, you understand, would stimulate the children to be interested in what you are giving them and start encouraging them to be creative and to be developing themselves at a very young age.
Okay.
So
Okay,
the work is on you for now as a teacher, and that's why you need to start developing yourself more using those tools.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Yes, ma'am.
Exactly. Thank you very much, Onyeka. That's the incoming Pro-Chancellor of High School of AI in Nigeria. Okay, any other contribution? We've overstretched our 1 hour. Okay, so thank you again for coming. Thank you for your participation. Thank you for your contribution.
Please, sorry, before we go, sorry for cutting you short. There's one other question I want to quickly ask, please. If you don't mind, sir, please.
Go ahead.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you, sir. Please, sir, in terms of special children, are they involved in this AI training also, teaching them?
Everyone is involved in AI. AI involves all of us.
Okay, sir.
And this is also why we need to improve ourselves in knowledge seeking, right?
Okay, sir.
AI covers all aspects of humanity. All of us are special in different forms, in different ways, right? It's a matter of understanding our need, and AI tool is out there that can relate to any form of situation.
Okay, sorry. The person speaking, is it the person from Mother Mary School?
Shola,
the person that asked this question. Are you from? Okay, you're from Mother Mary School, right?
Yes, please.
Can you hear me?
Yes,
I can hear you, sir. Yes, sir.
So I want to go back to your day 3 slides. You understand?
Okay, sir.
And there's a place on the slide whereby they talked about assessment. I went through it with you people. Assessment of your students, and you understand how you can use the AI to develop what you need to do for that specific children. In that example, there was where they put AGH, dyslexia, you understand? Go back and read those. If you go back and read that particular slide, go down, you see where you can set your assessment, setting questions, exam questions. Go back, read it, you understand what to do when it comes to special children. You understand? It's giving you it's like a blueprint of what you want to do, what you want to learn, how you want to understand, how you can use the AI for that specific reason. And this also applies to all category of children too. So all of you should go back to those slides. It has that information that you need. That place is actually very good for you to study very well, so that anytime you have, even the nursery person, every time you have specific children that you want to attend to and you want to use AI to develop materials for those children that they will understand and you can educate them properly, that particular slide can help you.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
You're welcome, ma'am.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you. I really appreciate your time today, and I'm so impressed that we turn up. Please look forward to the next talk, roundtable talk. It's going to be another explosive, another exposure to probably some of new ideas that are being cooked. And always be ready to share your own thoughts. And I want to encourage us, please let us come on time so that we can spend exactly 1 hour and we can get ourselves engaged in other activities of the day. Thank you. I hope to see you, talk to you more, chat with you more on the forum. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Thank you, sir. God bless you, sir. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Bye-bye. God bless you. Thank you, sir.
Amen. God bless you too. God bless you too. God bless you too. Please don't forget to put your number. I'll keep the Zoom on so that I want to capture everybody's number. Please put your number so that I can relate with you with your name on the
You
forum.
can also post it on your group platforms, on the WhatsApp group platform too. You can also post it there too. We can also pick it there as well. Just indicate February 1st, round talk, AI round talk. We'll be able to know that, okay, you attended. Thank you.
Please, it's very important for me. Very, very important.
Please, I can't hear the last statement, sir.
I said you can also put your number. If you didn't put your number on this Zoom call now, you can also put your number, you understand, on the AI. I encourage everybody to put your number on the WhatsApp platform and indicate AI training round talk, February 1st. You understand? So that we know that you are people that attended the meeting, and we can actually relay with you on that. You understand,
Okay,
man?
sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, sir.
I'm on this thing.
I leave the Zoom on so that we can capture all the phone numbers. So if you have not dropped your number, please do.